This is just a small talk. Nothing very relevant in terms of analysis of data or things like that. It's just trying to focus a little bit what we are doing here. And I have the good luck or bad luck, I don't know what is exactly, of being just before lunch. So any of you that don't need to hear me will take advantage on the queue for lunch. Okay. Thank you very much. Will you go to the next one, please? No. Next one. There are a few. Next one, please. Next. No. That's okay. Thank you. I will. Thank you very much. There was a few slides before that were for the introduction that, as probably you remember, I don't use at all. Sorry for that. You will notice that today I will do exactly the same. Use very little the transparencies you have behind me, the slides. Next one, please. First of all, which objective I have today for being in front of you? Not very difficult to imagine. If I go to the web page of the symposium this time, I will read directly. The PRC, and I am here representing PRC, aims to establish an open performance data platform available in cooperation with Open Sky Network and its community, and will support the symposium and some of the most relevant submissions. That's our duty of today. Support the symposium and the more relevant submissions. We encourage all submissions to consider the PRC research challenges outlined at the 11th symposium on safety, airspace complexity, flight interaction separation. You have seen today and yesterday a presentation dealing with this. Environment, also yesterday we see a presentation dealing with this. Estimations of fuel burn and emissions, and system network performance, traffic flow, interdependencies, and things like that. So as you see, it seems that what we are doing today is fitting our objectives, more or less clearly. PRC offers performance metric. If you don't know about, please look at the Eurocontrol webpage and you will see the reports we are producing. In an independent, that is, we are supported by Eurocontrol, but what we did is independent from Eurocontrol and from any other pressure that there could be, and in a transparent way. What we would like is that what we are doing is reproducible. That means that anyone could do the same that we are doing in terms of checking if the data that we are using and the results we are offering are correct or not. That means that we should give the people the possibility to access data. That's why we are here. And the problem is that some of the data we are using are confidential. Whatever is the reason, are confidential. We are not able to publish those data. But don't worry too much. Those data has the same kind of problems you have discovered sometimes on the data you have on an open way. So because some of the data we are using are confidential, we try to push for the people to be able to use open data. And that's why we are here in this symposium. That's why we are supporting the Open Sky Network. So the rest of the talk will be 3 parts. First part, looking back. The first part was the objective. The second one is looking back. And the third one will be looking forward. And in the second one, we will divide in 2 bits. One is looking back really in the past and in the rest of the symposium. And another one is looking back just a little bit. In fact, it's looking forward a couple of hours for another talk that you will have discovering the prize we will give this during this symposium. The first one, looking back. I am sorry because I will not be able to be up to the end of the symposium today. That means I miss a couple of presentations that, by the way, are really interesting to me. It's a pity, but I will read the papers, I promise you. But the important thing, when you have a look to what was on the symposium previous time, when I give a similar presentation to the one I am giving you right now, I was thinking that there were a few presentations that are really interesting from the viewpoint of the analysis of the PRC, but good enough. In any case, this time we see much more. So we are really happy of this improvement. Thank you very much to anyone providing this, because there are more presentations that could be interesting for us. in any case, we don't want that every presentation in the symposium is interesting for us, because we don't want to hijack the symposium. There are people presenting things that are really interesting, but not for our focus. Fair, no problem at all. What we don't like is that all the presentations are focusing in things that don't interest to us at all. If that happens, for sure, you will lose our support. But it's not happening, it's just the opposite. There are things really interesting, okay? Examples for us. The RAD inefficiencies that were presented yesterday, very interesting one. The expected distances for stars, very interesting one. The climate effects of the closing of the Russian airspace. We say the war in Ukraine, but in fact, the impact was the closing of the Russian airspace. Very interesting, not only because of what they present, but because of the conclusions that we could extract, if we are doing the things in the right way or not. The filtering technique that Olivier present in a different way, because instead of results, he's dealing with the problems of using the data. That is also very important, as has been highlighted also for other presentations. Quite a lot of interesting things. Last time I was not able to give you a list so long. But there is also, if I only give you the good points, wonderful, you are wonderful guys, but if I don't give you drawbacks, you will not improve at all. So let me give you some drawbacks on that. It's not general, it's just something that could be improved a little bit, okay? I noticed that there is, in some cases, a small lack of operational knowledge, I will say. Things that could be improved. And I offer you an opportunity, is when you are planning for your study, at the beginning, you could contact Eurocontrol looking for this knowledge to avoid problems that you will discover later on. So this will be good, not only for the ones preparing the study, but also for Eurocontrol, because the ones preparing the study will know the representatives of what they are trying to do, and if they are trying to check things that are a bit obvious in some cases, okay? Let me give you an example that happens to me a long time ago. I was trying to check the reasons why there are more delays in some specific moments. And we contracted, and then I was working for an IRE, we contracted an IT company, big one, with lots of people working, but you should consider that the people working, there are very experienced and some that are not so much. And they came to a meeting very happy because we have found something that we don't tell them. There was a clear indication that there are relationships between the temperature and the delays. You know why? Because of summer. In summer, there is more traffic. We don't need a consultancy to check these kind of things. You understand what I mean? So in some cases, it's good to check people with an operational view, because we'll save time and we'll focus better the study that you are doing. And you have this opportunity. You have Eurocontrol. I have checked with them, and they are ready to pay attention at the beginning, at the very beginning, to have a small chat and to try to help to focus the things. And this will improve the quality, the general quality of the things. More things. Again, back, but just a little. You notice that there is a challenge from the PRC. This challenge was not launched on the 11th, the one you have here, okay? Was launched on the 10th. You know how many answers we received from this challenge? No one, not a single one. That's why we launch again on the 10th, on the 11th symposium. What we did, because if we have no any answer, it's not probably because you are not willing to answer to a challenge. It's just because we don't do the things properly. What we did to change the things? What went wrong for us at the beginning? First, we made the data available. We process, we work a lot, thanks given to Quentin and Enrico. We work a lot preparing the data and making the data available for you. That means we are preparing data not for us, but for you. That is something different in some cases, something very relevant for the Open Sky network. You did exactly the same thing. Second, we give much more support. And third, we give an extra push for the people of doing the thing. So we change a lot of things. And then, which expectations we have? Because it will be really a pity if after making a lot of different things like you have on the screen, giving data to the community, exploring links, trying to incorporate more sources of information, and also identifying promising research activities, pushing the people to try to keep the collaboration with Open Skies Network. We see that we don't have any answer to the challenge we have launched. Just for raising your expectations a little bit, who will be the result of this challenge? If some of you know already how the things are going, please disregard what you know and think what you believe before you have the information. I will ask you to raise the hands. How many people did you believe that go to the challenge up to the end, that is presenting a solution? More than 10 teams? Raise the hands, please. More than 10 teams. Okay. More than 20? The ones that know should raise the hand. Okay. More than, you should raise your hand, but what you believe before knowing the reality. Okay. More than 40? Less than 10? Who thinks that less than 10 is the clear majority? Less than 10 teams. Okay. And what do you believe are the results? Again, without knowing. If you know, you should not use your privileged information. That's not fair. Okay. Which kind of error did you believe? Higher than 20% error? Lower than 20%? 1, 2. Lower than 10%? Lower than 5% error? No one. So majority is between 10 and 20% error, more or less. Okay, remember this. I will not give you the dates. The dates will be given later to you by Enrico. Okay, but remember, if it is a success or not, will depend if they fulfill expectations. And expectations means that we will have less than 10 teams participating and an error between the 10 and the 20%. If we have 5 teams participating and an error of 20%, is a failure. If we have more than 10 teams participating and an error below 10%, is a success. So we will be happy if it is a success. Nothing different than that. And another thing is that we will also learn from expectations we have. I could advance you an information. The expectations we have are quite in line with the one the general group has expressed. Enrico, could you tell us what are your personal expectations? How many people participating and with level of error?
You want the numbers?
No. I want your feelings before launching this. How many we will have and how much? Yeah. The numbers are for your presentation, not for this one.
Yeah, well, I can also give an anticipation. I have one slide about this. We had an exchange on WhatsApp at the very beginning of the launch of the PRC Data Challenge. And I was on the beach, so I was writing and saying, oh, look, guys, we have already, it was 8th of August. We have already 50 teams. And people were saying, oh, so many. And we were happy to say, oh, if we have 2-3 submissions of quality, we would be super happy. And so these were the expectations at the very beginning.
2 or 3 good submissions means which level of error you were thinking?
We would have been really happy for 10%.
10%. So that was the expectation of the people launching the issue. 2-3 good submissions and an error in the order of 10%, below 10% will be nice for us. So we have to manage expectations also. That's the general point. And not only the succeed will be having a lot of participants and having a good accuracy, it's also that if we are good or bad, making expectations, a good advance this is not exploding your presentation. I could advance that we are very bad making expectations, very bad. It's not only that artificial intelligence is giving us bad numbers, it's that when the natural intelligence is trying to predict, we are also very bad doing the things, okay? And finally, future, yeah. Future, okay. I will anticipate something that I intend to propose. It's just a proposal. It's not. I am not trying to write your program or something like that. It's just a proposal. I believe it will be very useful if next symposium starts with a full presentation. I mean, giving the people the time they deserve for the winner of the challenge, presenting us what he has done. Not only what he has done up to today, but because it's for the next symposium, if they have made improvements, that is possible that they have made improvements. In fact, we encourage the results will be made public, and if anyone would like to try to improve, wonderful, okay? And I will anticipate that apart from that, there will be more things that later on will be announced by Enrico, but at least to know for the rest of the community what we are able to do as a community when we work together, because even if there is just a winner, it's a collective approach. That is exactly what we are looking for, this kind of collective approach. One other thing that I would like to say for the future is that we would like that you challenge us. That is, we are PRC, we are giving performance measures, we are plenty of data, but it will be a pleasure if there is a presentation in the next symposium telling us that you are grown here. This analysis that you have made is not correct. You should use, using open data, we have been able, and using the algorithms you are using, because those algorithms are also public and so on, we are able to do that for those reasons, because we see lots of local analysis, that is good, but we would like to see also a bit more global analysis, that is what PRC is doing, and also because we would like to challenge. If someone is wishing to tell us that they have tried with open data and the results are exactly like ours and we are wonderful people, don't worry. We don't need you to know that we are wonderful people. So don't care if we don't select this kind of presentation. What we are doing, looking is people challenging us, okay? So telling us where we could improve. That is exactly what I expect from you, improve from one symposium to the next. New challenges. Because of the results of this one, we will propose, we will keep this open, by the way, because we would like to improve the things. That I believe building over the things that are already successful is good. And if we have received just one proposal, we improve from the previous time we launched the challenge. So, because there is more than one, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, right? If there is more than one, it's a success, and we believe we should construct. So, even if we keep open this challenge, the real challenge for the next symposium will be different. We have a number of things in mind. You have some of them somewhere here. Trajectory fuel burn profile, taxi time estimation. There is more than that. I don't know. There is a presentation this evening from Tatiana speaking about machine learning and the detection of holding patterns. Why not to think in an extraction? There is another one also dealing with this kind of things. I know, sorry. I refer to that because I see Tatiana. You are in the first row, so I don't see you. Why not to cross this with the reality? There are things that could be considered ground truth, and to try to see which is the best approach to do this kind of thing in the community, taking the place of Tatiana and going ahead with these kind of things. There are lots of things, and we are open. Eurocontrol is wishing that if you have something in mind, propose. We will select one in the same way that we have done with the current one, and we will offer a price for it, and we will open a call, and we will try to give you lots of things, because there are problems with some of those. Give you the ground truth for the burn fuel consumption. The fuel consumption is not easy. It's a difficult bit that will make the things complicated. In any case, I say the previous time that what we are doing here could be considered science because we do with open data. We publish the algorithms we are using and the study in detail. That means we are aiming to reproducibility. That is really the science, when you could check that what has been said is true, not simply things that you say and nobody could challenge you because they are not able to have access to the algorithms or to the data or to whatever. It's just because we guess sounds good, but we are not able to check. In these symposiums, we are able to check the things. And we have a number of things today on the screen. We offer data, but the data that we are giving, that Eurocontrol is giving support to Open Sky Network, is not for free. It's because we wanted that you use the data and you use the data for the benefit of the community as a whole. If the data are not used, we will not keep supporting. My suggestion in the next meeting we have from PRC will be we need to keep giving support to this kind of thing because it's really practical. The people is using the data we are providing. Every time, if the data is every time better, the people will be using more and more. That's the impression I have from this symposium. And because we are doing the things for the community in an open way and doing the things properly, let me finish telling you that what you deserve is my applause. Consider this is not the applause for the end of the presentation, it's the applause from the people pushing to the people doing the work. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you for doing that. I actually have a question to your presentation. You mentioned that Eurocontrol is willing to provide support, to provide a contact. How can we reach you?
I believe the one supporting is Enrico.
Directly? Like direct email enrico.spinelli@eurocontrol.com? Org? It? Sorry.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Yes. Of course.
Just a comment and a question. Thank you, Jose Miguel, for a very nice speech. And it's over the past years, I mean, since we really started this kind of initiative, Open Sky, Open Science Initiative, it's really nice to see now we have getting more and more research on board. And through this PRC challenge, we also see that this important data used to be hidden and now is available to researchers. And we can see like the response of researchers there. I wouldn't mention the number of teams, but numerous number of teams has tried to join and to use this data. So I guess the next step also, I would, if I have to choose a topic, I think even though the field burn might be difficult, right, to get a legal proof, and we will still, I would still committed to provide more insight of the data used to be closed, but now become open for researchers. So this is my comment. I think adding, using the existing open data, we should go beyond that scope to making more data open for researchers. And the second question is really reflecting to you your suggestion about the topics of interest and what we should focus on. Another thing, I often feel like a lot of community members are doing the research on their own time as well, right? So open science has become one of the important things in ATM in general. But we don't see a lot of support, financial support from European SSR or from big players, and it often feels like, oh, this is open, it's for free, why someone is paying for it, right? So another question for you and also for the greater community of SSR for Eurocontrol is that how can we set up like kind of instrument in the future for funding researchers? Maybe not a big fund, but small fund to allow people to conduct open science for ATM. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I don't believe, thank you very much, Junsi, you surprised me. I don't believe I will be asked for money. That's exactly what you did. I could tell you what we did at our level in Spain, but I could not promise you that this is happening some elsewhere, okay? NIRE, that is the one that is pushing for this, that is the one that is trying, is participating in CESAR, is participating in not only in industrial, but also in experimental research, and is using us for doing this kind of things. And we try to keep on board people from the universities that is normally working with us. And you normally will notice that there are researchers that are working with us in such a way. But for sure, this is just a country in Europe. We could not do that for everyone. We have created even a cluster of university that works around us, and we try to do something that is really important, that is not only what you suggested, that is funding researchers. That's wonderful. But there is an enormous amount of effort done in every one of the universities in Europe with the final degrees career of everyone and so on, that in a high percentage is useless because they are repeating things that are for nothing. That's the aim that we have with this cluster, try to help those people to have subjects to be investigated, to have not only independent things, but lines of investigation. And for sure, when those lines of investigation go ahead and are interesting, we finance them also. But it's not only a matter of financing when people having an idea. It's like experimental projects. You are participating in experimental projects. Unfortunately, we sometimes present some ideas that don't go ahead because we have not been able to explain ourselves good enough. It's not because the idea is not good. It's because some people say because the evaluation was not fair. It's not that. It's we have not been able to explain ourselves as good as needed. Okay. So we are cooperating already in such a way, and we receive funding from the European Union and other kind of things. The issue is that we should coordinate better the things that we are doing. Not only that we should give more money to the people doing, it's also that you should coordinate better. If you have a line of research, when you have results, it's much than probable that you could go ahead with projects and then receive financing either for a project or for the line of research. For us, from DSNA, from LBNL, from any one of the companies. But just money without knowing for what is a bit more difficult. The kind of bet Eurocontrol is making here, trying to push for open data and things like that, I have to say thank you very much, Eurocontrol, because it's not normal. They put the money before knowing the results. That's a bit difficult in the current world. Thank you, gentlemen.